something we want to buy. But General Electric is a big, strong company.
General Electric, or also known as GE, is a legendary company. It was formerly the world's largest and most powerful corporation. It was founded by Thomas Edison and J.P. Morgan. Its iconic CEO, Jack Welch, who authored 5 best-selling leadership books, became a role model for a generation of business leaders. Because GE was such a forerunner firm, when they started using Microsoft software in our early days, it provided us a big push in the market. The organization has plummeted to its knees in one of the most spectacular business failures ever. Its employment has shrunk from 333,000 in 2017 to fewer than 174,000 at the end of the previous year. The value of the stock has plummeted. After more than a century in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, GE was dropped in 2018. The failure of GE is not due to the development of a better jet engine or wind turbine by inventors. It's also not a matter of crime or even scandal, as was the case with Enron. It's a textbook example of how an overly complex business may be mismanaged. For today's video, let's take a look into GE, the company that have fallen from grace. Before that, please hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow, and don't forget to hit the like button, and also feel free to comment down what other topics you want to be featured in this channel. Now, let's move on to the video. The majority of Americans associate GE with light bulbs, televisions, and washing machines. The quest to deliver affordable light and power to fuel the rise of industrial America gave birth to GE, which swiftly became a household name. The Thomson-Houston Company and the Edison General Electric Company merged in 1892 to form the General Electric Company. Incandescent light bulbs, an electric train, early X-ray equipment, and an electric stove were among GE's first products. In the 1920s, the firm began mass-producing electric home appliances, and was rapidly credited with revolutionizing the way Americans lived. In the years that followed, GE developed vacuum technology, which allowed microwave and radar systems to be created. During World War II, it supplied military equipment, and in 1949, it introduced the J-47, the world's most popular jet engine. At that time, GE was a pioneer in laser light technology and medical imaging in the 1960s and 1970s. GE purchased RCA and NBC and expanded into the financial service industry. After former chemical engineer John F. Welch Jr. took over as CEO in 1981. Welch, a corporate titan, was known for aggressively weeding out ineffective employees. Because of his policy of laying off GE employees while keeping the company's physical assets, he was dubbed Neutron Jack. Welch grew the company from a $25 billion manufacturing corporation to a $130 billion conglomerate, comprising of segments from financial services to power generation, and even consulting services by the time he stepped down in 2001. The financial crisis of 2008 had a significant impact on GE. The company's stock dropped 42% over the year, and it became evident following Welch's departure that GE was overstretched and bloated. The finance business of GE Capital nearly brought the corporation down during the Great Recession because it lacked a competitive advantage over other financial services firms. Warren Buffett famously stepped in with funding to help GE to get back on its feet. However, GE's problems did not end with the financial crisis. Its $9.5 billion purchase of the power unit of French transportation company, Alstom in 2015 was widely regarded as a failure. The corporation made the move to dismantle GE Capital and revert to its manufacturing roots. NBC Universal, GE Plastics, GE Water, and GE Appliances were also axed, along with billions of dollars in loans and real estate. The company cut its annual dividend from $1.24 to 82 cents in 2009. Dividends dropped significantly further in 2010. In 2017, the General Electric Company celebrated its 125th anniversary. However, there was little to rejoice about. The stock had been faltering since January 2017, when the business said it would lose 12,000 positions, falling from $200 to $100 a share, a 50% drop. The company's market capitalization, which was $262 billion at the moment, had plummeted to $107 billion. GE announced plans for a significant restructuring in November 2017 and cut its quarterly dividend from 24 cents to 12 cents per share. Dividends were lowered to 1 cent per share in December 2018. GE lay off thousands of employees across all businesses in the country in the same month in 2017. Following the statement, the company's stock dropped 3.5%. This was the latest in a series of steps taken by GE to improve its financial position. On December 13, 2018, market analysts tossed a penny when JP Morgan upgraded GE's two-year rating to neutral from underweight. Before the market opened, GE rose to $57.62 per share. GE had a solid year in 2019, with favorable news compared to past years when it struggled. The company made major improvements to make a turnaround. The company cut its debt from $55 billion to about half that amount by 2020. The CEO also sold stakes in subsidiaries that were no longer essential to the GE business model. Baker Hughes, an oilfield services company, was sold by GE, while its transportation division was sold to Wabtec. Both moves helped GE raise a considerable amount of money. By the end of the year, the stock had risen by around 50% for the year. Despite doing an amazing job of turning around GE, the company has been stung by the financial calamity caused by the pandemic. Before the global market slowdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, GE's stock had been gradually rising in late 2019 and early 2020, reaching $105.28 on February 12, 2020. It had dropped to $43.92 by May 15, 2020, its lowest price in 2 decades. GE's aviation unit, which is critical to the company's profitability, was particularly hard hit. GE's aviation segment produces aeroplane engines for Boeing and Airbus, and is the company's most profitable division, bringing in $32.9 billion in revenue in 2019. This amounts to 34% of overall revenue. Because travel had come to a halt due to the epidemic, plane manufacturers were unable to place orders for new planes or plane parts. As of March 2020, GE's aviation division began laying off 10% of its staff in the United States alone. In 2021, however, things began to look up for GE. Profit margins began to improve, and free cash flow returned to positive territory. In the second part of the year, the stock began to steadily rise, closing in the 3 digits for the first time since 2018, reaching as high as $112 per share. Investors reacted favorably to the company's acquisition of ultrasound maker BK Medical in September. For the already strong healthcare division at $1.45 billion, it was the company's largest buy in years, with shares rising about 5%. GE is divided into 4 areas as of 2021: aviation, healthcare, power, and renewable energy, transforming into a focused, simpler, stronger high-tech industrial, according to its website. Despite GE's well-publicized free fall, investors remain attentive to one of America's most renowned firms. GE has exhibited signs of recovery in recent years, including the sale of non-essential businesses and a reduction in debt. It is a global corporation with about 175,000 workers operating in over 130 countries. Power, renewable energy, oil and gas, aviation, healthcare, transportation, and lighting are just a few of the major industrial segments in which it operates. When considering its possibilities, none of these aspects should be overlooked. On the negative side, the COVID-19's market impact has thrown a kink in the company's profitability and, maybe, its future. General Electric isn't out yet, but it has a long way to go if it wants to reclaim its status as the classic American corporation and its place in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. See you next time. Business Wisdom, signing out.